America's largest pet pharmacy.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Tuesday, only NBC News takes you this close.
All right, guys, what's going on?
A day in the life of the president.
Madam Secretary, what would you like to talk about today?
Inside the Obama White House. A two-part special starting Tuesday on NBC.
I'm over here, huh?
As bleak as it may sound, it could have been far worse. In our fourth story in the countdown, General Motors files for bankruptcy, and the federal government, and by extension you and me, the taxpayers, we will own 60% of the new GM. Documentary filmmaker Michael Moore joins us presently. An already failing company made worse by the severe recession today became the largest industrial bankruptcy in U.S. history. 2,600 dealers, 11 plants, and 21,000 more jobs go. But all of GM's 88,000 workers would have lost their jobs if the carmaker had been forced to collapse into liquidation. And the company's union workforce will have to make further concessions. GM's stronger brands like Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC live on, as does pressure from the federal government for GM to build new fuel-efficient models. The president's auto task force, you will recall, ousted GM's former CEO, Rick Wagoner, 2 months ago. And today the president made clear that the federal government was becoming a reluctant shareholder of GM in lieu of giving the company another loan. We get 60% in exchange for $30 billion more in aid. The president today also delineated when GM's new and largest shareholder would intervene and when we would not.
The federal government will refrain from exercising its rights as a shareholder in all but the most fundamental corporate decisions. When a difficult decision has to be made on matters like where to open a new plant or what type of new car to make, the new GM, not the United States government, will make that decision.
Joining us now from Flint, Michigan, where GM was born a century ago, Academy Award-winning documentary producer Michael Moore. Michael, thanks for taking time to be with us tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Keith.
So you're not in mourning?
Well, I obviously feel really bad about all the tens of thousands of people who've lost their jobs over the past few years and who will continue to lose their jobs now. But frankly, I think the upside of this today is that we own a car company. You know, in addition to the insurance company we own and the banks that we own, you and I are doing pretty good. I never thought I'd have any of these in my portfolio. So, seriously, I think the fact that we, the people, that would be the government. That's what we are. We're still a democracy. We actually are going to be able to control what this company is going to do. And I know President Obama says that he's going to have a hands-off approach to how they're going to run the company from day to day, but he hasn't really impressed me as a hands-off kind of guy, which is a good thing. This is a guy that fired the chairman of General Motors a number of months ago, so he's not exactly, I think that, I mean, in his hands and under his guidance, I think we have a good shot at something happening here. What I would want to encourage him to do is to not reform a smaller version of the old bad thing that we've had. A smaller GM it just means that instead of laying off hundreds of thousands, they'll just lay off tens of thousands. We need to protect our industrial infrastructure, as I've said many times before, so that we are using these factories to build the things that we need. Bullet trains, light rail, alternative energy, cleaner buses, things that are, you know, that the society needs in the 21st century. If we go back to building 20th century cars with the internal combustion engine, or electric cars that they say they're going to charge $40,000 for, which, you know, I don't know how that's going to happen, where people are going to afford that these days. GM has got to, as I said, today I wrote this thing on my blog, and I just said that we have to kill GM in order to save it. This is a company that invented the concept of planned obsolescence, which back in the 50s they decided, hey, a great way to make money is to start building cars that fall apart in like 3 years, so they'll have to buy another car. And then they'll keep buying these cars, and they thought that's how they'd make a lot of money. Now they've created they've planned their own obsolescence by, you know, helping to destroy the middle class, which was buying those cars. You lay those people off; they don't have the money to buy the cars. Who do you think is going to buy the cars? And here we are tonight.
Well, what happens to the obsolescence of those people who get laid off in the short term? As we said, the cost on this move right now is 11 plants, 2,600 dealers, and 21,000 more jobs. What do we do about those people right now?
Yeah, well, my point is why not spend the money? I mean, this is our taxpayer dollars. The first priority I would want done with my tax dollars is to preserve those jobs, because if you throw them out of work, we end up paying for that anyways, whether it's in unemployment or welfare or all the social problems that will occur when people become poor. That will be a cost down the road. So why not just spend that $30 billion right now, keep those people employed, and then do like Franklin Roosevelt and say, you know, next month I want you to stop building cars, and I want you to start building this. And that's what happened here in Flint at the beginning of World War II. Literally, yep. Keith, within weeks, they went from building cars to building airplanes, airplane engines, machine guns, tanks. They just converted these assembly lines, and they did that with 1940s technology. We have the ability to really do something great here, something that will benefit our society in the 21st century. If we just do what we did with the bank bailout, where we just throw money down the rat hole and say, well, we'll see you later. We don't really want to, don't tell us what you're doing. We don't want to be involved in it. Just here's the money. Then we're going to have another situation like we have with the banks, with General Motors, and that's not going to benefit anybody.
So, you know, my great-grandfather turned down $1,000 worth of stock in General Motors in like 1909 or 1910 so he could buy Polish government war bonds instead. It sounds like a joke, but it's absolutely true. Now it turns out he made the right choice. Michael Moore, who's with us tonight from Flint, Michigan, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Keith.